Namaskar and welcome to Express News. Let's begin. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi held talks with his New Zealand counterpart Christopher Luxon at Hyderabad House in New Delhi on Monday. Both leaders discussed various aspects of the India-New Zealand relationship. Luxon's visit aims at strengthening bilateral relationship between the two countries. PM Modi and his New Zealand counterpart also held a delegation-level talk. The leaders also witnessed the exchange of MOUs on sports, horticulture and defence, a letter of intent on forestry, and agreement on customs and exchange on education. During a joint press statement with New Zealand's Prime Minister Luxon, Prime Minister Modi said that India and New Zealand support a free, open, secure and prosperous Indo-Pacific. Prime Minister Luxon said that New Zealand needs a stronger presence in India and announced plans to increase its diplomatic footprint by over 60%. Earlier, New Zealand's Prime Minister Luxon laid a wreath at Rajghat. He paid tributes to Mahatma Gandhi. Luxon arrived in New Delhi on Sunday on a 5-day visit to India. India's Ministry of External Affairs held a press conference in New Delhi on the visit of the New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon, highlighting the exchange of MOUs between India and New Zealand and bilateral discussions. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 10th edition of the Raisina Dialogue today. New Zealand's Prime Minister Luxon will join the inaugural session as the chief guest. He'll deliver the keynote address. As part of the Raisina Dialogue of 2025 engagements, India's External Affairs Minister Jaishankar met the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Tanja Fajon of Slovenia. The Indian minister appreciated her assessment as a current UN Security Council member of global challenges. India's EAM also met his Swedish counterpart, Maria Stenagard, and also held discussions on deepening India's engagement with the EU. The US Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, met India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in New Delhi on Monday. The leaders discussed a wide range of issues, including defence and information sharing, aiming to further deepen the India-US partnership. In a podcast interview with the AI researcher and US-based podcaster Lex Fridman, while speaking about Pakistan, Prime Minister Modi stated that every attempt by India to foster peace has been met with hostility and betrayal. Prime Minister Modi emphasized the importance of strengthening ties between India and China despite past tensions and advocated for dialogue over discord and cooperation over conflict as a way forward. PM Modi also threw light on his bond with US President Donald Trump during this podcast. And the US President Donald Trump has shared a link of this Prime Minister Narendra Modi Lex Fridman podcast in a social media post on his official account on the platform Truth Social. India is hosting a Quad workshop on pandemic preparedness with the Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare Anupriya Patel inaugurating the workshop in New Delhi on Monday. Om Birla, who is the Speaker of the lower house of the Indian Parliament, the Lok Sabha, hosted a parliamentary delegation from Vietnam in New Delhi on Monday. An encounter in Srinagar city of India's Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir between security forces, terrorists, took place after the terrorists had opened fire on the approaching security personnel, leading to a heavy exchange of gunfire. 7 interstate illegal Bangladeshi immigrants were held in the Indian capital Delhi and the nearby NCR under a special drive of the Delhi Police East District. The Indian equity indices ended on a strong note on Monday. At close, the Sensex was up 341 points and it's at 74,170. The Nifty was up about 112 points, closing at 22,509. The rupee ended 21 paise higher at 86.79 per dollar on Monday. Gold futures maturing on April 4 were priced at 88,022 per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for May 5 maturity period were at 1,597,000 rupees per kg on the MCX. Global crude oil prices traded higher on Monday after the US vowed to keep attacking Houthis until the rebel group ends its assaults on shipping. European shares were largely unchanged on Monday as investors started the new trading week with slight caution around the escalating trade war. The Bank of England is likely to keep interest rates on hold on Thursday and stick to its mantra of only gradual moves ahead. Finance ministers from the group of 7 countries are meeting virtually on Monday. It has been announced by Canada's new Finance Minister, François-Philippe Champagne. This upcoming session represents an early initiative as they collaborate on preparations for the forthcoming G7 summit to be hosted in Kanakasis in Alberta. Hikers attempting any of Mount Fuji's 4 main trails will be charged an entry fee of 4,000 yen, that's about $27, from this summer after local authorities passed a bill on Monday. The United States has deported over 200 Venezuelans from the US to a prison in El Salvador amid legal and human rights concerns. During a late flight back to Washington area from Florida, the US President Donald Trump said that these gang members were very bad people. Donald Trump confirmed that reciprocal tariffs, including duties on automobiles, will be imposed starting April 2nd and will apply to both friends and foes of the United States. Trump's administration has begun mass layoffs at the Voice of America and other US-funded media outlets, signaling a move to cut services critical to US influence globally. The US president also said that he plans to speak to Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday. He termed the forthcoming talks a good chance to end the 3-year-old conflict. The European Union Foreign Policy Chief, Kaja Kallas, on Monday said that conditions demanded by Russia to agree to a ceasefire in the conflict with Ukraine show that Moscow does not really want peace. Russia has underscored its demand that Ukraine be excluded from NATO membership and maintains a neutral stance in any prospective peace agreement. The Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Grushko emphasized the importance of including stringent security guarantees in the peace accord. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky appointed Major General Andrei Hantov as the Ukraine Chief of General Staff, as Kiev is seeking now to speed up army reforms. Lithuania on Sunday backed a European Union proposal to pledge up to 40 billion euros in military aid for Ukraine this year, with a similar amount needed in the future to deter the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is seeking to dismiss the head of Israel's internal security agency, who swiftly called the move political and said that the premier expected personal loyalty. Canada's newly appointed Prime Minister, Mark Carney, arrived in Paris on Monday for his first international visit. He will meet French President Emmanuel Macron during his visit to France. A fire in a North Macedonia nightclub left at least 59 dead. The injured were brought to Bulgaria for treatment on Sunday. About 148 people were hospitalized. North Macedonia's Prime Minister said an investigation into the nightclub fire had found the club's license was not legitimate. Authorities have arrested about 20 people in connection with the fire. Leaders of bordering countries as well as the European Union offered condolences and support. The Serbian president called the disaster a tragedy of immense magnitude. 6 people are dead in an expressway bridge collapse in Bangkok, Thailand. It occurred during the construction phase. In Brazil, thousands of supporters of the former President Jair Bolsonaro gathered in Rio de Janeiro to demand amnesty for those involved in the January 8, 2023 riots. Human rights activists marched near the presidential palace in Manila on Monday to urge the Philippine government to rejoin the International Criminal Court following the former President Rodrigo Duterte's trial in The Hague. In Congo, M23 rebels said on Monday they would send a delegation to the peace talks with the Democratic Republic of Congo's government that are expected to begin on Tuesday in Angola's capital. US astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams, who have been stuck there in space for more than 9 months, are now likely to return to Earth on Tuesday evening. The Vatican released the first image of Pope Francis in hospital since his treatment began for double pneumonia on February 14. Now, it said that the Pope had celebrated Mass with other priests in the chapel on Monday. We're heading for a short break here. Stay with us on Express News.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back to Express News on DD India. Let's resume. A severe weather system struck the US over the weekend, claiming at least 36 lives due to tornadoes, strong winds, and dust storms. US President Donald Trump said he was monitoring the tornadoes and storms and he announced that the National Guard had been deployed to Arkansas and pledged help to state and local officials. At least 3 people were killed in central Alabama when multiple tornadoes swept across the United States' state. And the governor declared a state of emergency after downed trees and damaged power lines and buildings. An oil spill in northwestern Ecuador has turned a river black, prompting authorities to declare an environmental emergency and order residents to ration drinking water. 2 ski mountaineers are in a critical condition after being struck by an avalanche on Sunday near Forcella Giao, which is in the Italian Dolomites. Weekend temperatures in Greece spiked to a record high for March. The heat spike is linked to the Saharan dust, and forecasters predict a significant drop in temperatures starting Tuesday. A German court resumed a landmark climate case on Monday brought by the Peruvian farmer Sol Luciana Livia, who has claimed that emissions from the German energy giant RWE they have contributed to the melting of the Andean glaciers, increasing flood risks to his home. The temperature continues to remain low in India's Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir after a recent spell of rainfall in the region. The India Meteorological Department has issued a weather forecast warning of a heat wave and storm activity across the country over the coming days. The government of Nepal will host the Sagar Mata, dialogue, focusing on climate change and its impact on May. This is happening on May 20th and 21st, and discussions will be held on 16 climate-related themes. The first Pink Trumpet Flower Festival is currently underway in Vietnam. It includes entertainment as well as cultural exchanges and local food. A 1-kilometer road lined with nearly 300 blooming pink trumpet trees offers a stunning view to visitors. The panda-themed tourist train, a tourism initiative originating in Sichuan, is now running south to Yunnan. The travelers can enjoy vibrant spring landscape and explore local traditions in China. Thousands flocked to downtown Chicago to watch the city's river turn a rich shade of green, a 60-year-old tradition on St. Patrick's Day. Since 1962, Chicago's local plumbers union uses non-toxic vegetable-based dye to give the river this vibrant green hue. Cherry blossoms were in full bloom at a Tokyo aquarium, with the animals swimming and interacting amongst the pink flowers and delighting visitors. The aquarium was transformed into a Japanese-style garden with projections of flower petals filling the space as pink fishes swam in tanks decorated with cherry blossom branches. A diverse array of carnation varieties captivated audiences during Colombia's Dianthus Week. The annual floriculture aims to showcase new varieties of carnation developed through techniques such as hybridization, as well as production methods utilized by Colombian growers. Construction to restore the spire of St. Denis Basilica, north of Paris, has kicked off on Friday. The stone spire of the 12th century basilica was damaged by storms in the mid-1800s. Cramming into a hall in central London, the retro video game fans, they digs some bargains at the London gaming market, which is marking its 10th anniversary this year. The bustling marketplace sees various specialist traders stack their stalls high with nostalgic, rare and sometimes highly valuable bits of kit. A swirl of tango dancers brought rhythm and devotion outside Rome's Gemelli Hospital as a heartfelt tribute to Pope Francis. Spain's Valencia celebrated Falas Festival with some giant figures, also known as ninots, which is the Valencian word for dolls. The giant figures, often made from wood, plaster and papier-mâché, have satirical themes, and they are scattered across the city before they are set on fire. The Indian filmmaker Payal Kapadio's All We Imagine Is Light has been awarded the best film at the 18th Asian Film Awards. The Indian actress Shahana Goswami has received the Best Actress award, while Sandhya Suri was recognized as the Best New Director for her film Santosh, in which Goswami starred. The Best Director award went to Japan's Yoshida Daihachi for his atmospheric character study Teki Kamet, while Hong Kong's Sean Lau took home the Best Actor award for his performance in Papa. Disney hosted the premiere of its new version of Snow White in Los Angeles with stars Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot in attendance. The Emmy-winning comedy series Ted Lasso is returning to the pitch for a fourth season. An official trailer has been released for Brad Pitt's highly anticipated Formula One drama F1. 4 new songs by Marianne Faithfull, the English singer, best known for the 1960s hit As Years Go By, and who died earlier this year, will be released this summer. Walt Disney Pictures released a first look at Freakier Friday, which is a sequel to the 2003 film Freaky Friday. The US singer Chappell Roan just dropped the lyric video for her new country track. It's called The Giver, and Roan's last album, The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess, helped her to snag a Grammy Award for the Best New Artist in 2024. A handful of fans of the late British singer Liam Payne unveiled a bench in Buenos Aires in his memory at the British Cemetery. Kolkata Knight Riders has named the seamer Chetan Sakaria as a replacement for the speedster Umran Malik for the upcoming edition of the Indian Premier League 2025. Delhi Capitals appointed South Africa batter Faf du Plessis as their vice-captain for the Indian Premier League 2025 season. Earlier, Aksar was named Delhi Capitals captain on Friday. The Indian Masters cruised to a 6-wicket win over the West Indies Masters to win the inaugural International Masters League on Sunday. The Union Minister of Sports, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, inaugurated the Fit India Carnival at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Delhi on Sunday. In tennis, the British player Jack Draper rode past Denmark's Holger Rune. He won 6-2, 6-2 on Sunday to win his first ATP Masters 1000 title at Indian Wells on Monday. In the women's singles, the Russian teenager Mira Andreeva has overcome world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka 2-6, 6-4, 6-3 and has won the Indian Wells tournament as well. India excelled at the Special Olympics World Winter Games 2025 in Torino, and the team won 33 medals, including 8 gold, 18 silver and 7 bronze medals. The Australian teenager Gout showcased his remarkable sprinting skills with running 200 meters in a wind-assisted 19.98 seconds at the Queensland State Championship on Sunday. Barcelona battled past Atletico Madrid 4-2 in the La Liga on Sunday to claim the top spot in the points table. Manchester United earned a 3-0 win against a struggling Leicester City in the Premier League on Sunday. Newcastle United ended their 70-year domestic trophy drought as they beat Liverpool to win the Carabao Cup. This happened at Wembley Stadium on Sunday. The defending champions, Jaipur Delta, defeated Carousel Jindals 13-7 and won the finals of the Northern India Polo Championship in New Delhi on Sunday. China have included the Brazilian-born midfielder Serginho in their squad for the crucial World Cup qualifiers. The move comes less than a week after he obtained Chinese citizenship. Bournemouth centre-back Dean Huijsen has received a first call-up to the Spanish squad after Barcelona's Inigo Martinez suffered an injury. Hockey India on Monday named the 36-member core probables group. This is for the senior men's national coaching camp in Bengaluru. It concludes on March 28. That's all we have in this edition of Express News. Thank you very much for watching. Namaskar.